EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for the weekend, September 9th and 10th, 2023. I'm not wearing a hat in today's video like I normally do and I'm wearing glasses because I've been in front of this computer all day with our private clients mostly, just navigating through the storms that we've had, and I am spent. So I just wanted to get the video done for the weekend, and it's been one of those days. Just needed a little bit of a break. So today we have scattered showers and thunderstorms, a stall boundary across the region, and that's going to be situated just like this. Here's a stall boundary. It's actually a cold front that is kind of just stalled and dissipated. Yesterday we had a cold front that didn't move through. It just came over top of the region, became the focus of scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's going to be the same thing with this stalled boundary over the next couple of days. It will be weakening, however, but because that position of that boundary, the boundary that I just drew, is actually like this, okay? So areas south and east of that boundary will still be quite warm today. We see a spread above me in temperatures of 78 to 88. The interior areas up by Williamsport, State College, those areas will be in the upper 70s. Southeast of that boundary down by Philadelphia will be in the mid to upper 80s, okay? So that's because of that where that boundary is. Even though it's a decaying boundary, it is going to be decaying and continuing to decay over the weekend. It's still going to be there on Sunday as well. So I don't give you the impression this weekend's going to be a total washout, because you have most of the day, at least 8 hours of the day, where it's not doing anything here on Saturday. And so we get over to the damn high-res future simulated radar. This is starting off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because nothing before that at all is expected. It might be mostly cloudy, but we're not expecting any precipitation until we get to about mid-afternoon again. Same areas yesterday that generally had pop-up storms. They're a little bit further west included with this too as well on the high-resolution wrap refresh. Some of these could be locally strong. I don't think we're dealing with in large part. We're doing a lot of severe weather on Saturday. It could be something isolated. But for the most part, these are just garden variety storms moving through. A lot of discrete stuff here across eastern Pennsylvania is shown mid to late afternoon and maybe early evening, and then the main batch is out here in central PA. This could also contain some locally damaging wind gust with it, but that's going to be a very isolated thing if that were to occur. And then as we move through the course of the evening, this is just going to turn into stratiform rain like it did last night. We had some embedded thunder with that too, but it just kind of fizzled out once you hit sunset. That's going to be the same thing today. Not much different. It's going to go through part of the overnight, and that's it. And that's all you have for Saturday. Storm Prediction Center does, in fact, have a marginal risk for severe in the green. There's no slight risk today, no yellow on here, which means this is a 5% chance of seeing severe wind within 25 miles of any given point within the green areas. And as most of our interior locations, as it has been for the last couple of days. Yesterday, they included a little bit further east, and of course that verified across New Jersey with some training storms along the convergence boundary and several outflow boundaries during the day that I had a heck of a time with today, because these were a pain in the ass. They really were. But this is what it is today. Just a marginal risk, and I do agree with the marginal risk that, that just tells me that something very isolated or rogue could approach severe and have some locally damaging wind gusts. But in large part, we're not really dealing with too much. And the NAM is doing the same thing. 2 o'clock in the afternoon here on the NAM as well, moving this forward. And you see this discrete activity popping up here over eastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey. And then that lives off to the north. And then it doesn't have much developing here in central PA later in the day. So that could or could not happen. It depends. The high-resolution wrap refresh does have this developing out here. So we'll just assume it will. But the timestamp on this is 11 p.m. when this is happening. So this is going to be kind of late. Probably just garden variety storms at that point, and that's it. So if you have anything going on here on Saturday and Sunday earlier in the day, you should be okay. Saturday is certainly fine up until about mid-afternoon, early, like maybe 2, 3 o'clock. Then you have these storms popping. They're still going to be widely scattered, but you'll have some storms popping in that time frame going forward through the evening. And the same thing here in the overnight. We have this next batch. When we get to Sunday, I think it's going to be more showery. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm, but it would be garden variety, and that's it. But just a few showers rotating through. These are showers for the most part here on Sunday. And it's going to be a pain, too, because we have the Phillies game in South Philadelphia here on Sunday at 1:05. The game here on, going back to today, this is today's game. So this is about the start of the game here on on Saturday, okay? Some storms early on, and then that moves away, so they should be able to get the game here in South Philadelphia in. It's a 6:05 start on Saturday, 1:05 on Sunday, so both time frames, I think we'll be able to navigate through this. Just a few light showers around here on Saturday, maybe during the game, and that's it. And that's going to go through Sunday night as well. Same thing here on the NAM for Sunday. Has a few showers around. These are not that big of a deal. Mostly showers, but a few thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon as well. But these will be garden variety here on Sunday. So I think we're done. We turned the corner here with the severe weather. Pretty big severe weather day on Thursday. Somewhat severe on Friday. I think we're taking a step back even further. Cut that in half of what we saw yesterday. And then on Sunday, probably even very, very little. Certainly not severe by the time we get to Sunday. Now we have this boundary is going to finally shift east. Here's Sunday, and here's Monday. Monday shows this boundary more so affecting New England, but in our northern and central areas could have an isolated thunderstorm here on Monday until this pulls away. And then I think we have an in-between day here on Tuesday where we're just going to have a mixture of cloud and sun, and temperatures on either side of 80 degrees. And then we have another frontal boundary coming through late Tuesday night and during the day here on Wednesday with scattered showers and thunderstorms expected with this trough moving through. It's going to go through Wednesday night. And then this trough is going to push offshore. And then we're going to have some cooler temperatures relative to average settling to the northeast United States. Now, this trough is here. At the same time, Hurricane Lee is making its way up here, which is going to help guide this out in this direction. Now, how close does it get to the coast is still in question. I don't think for this area. This area, I think I'm about 98% sure, and I will tell you on Monday morning when I'm at 100, but I'm about 98% sure now we're not dealing with anything locally along the shore points except for maybe rip currents. Rip currents you can expect, but we also will have some high surf and rough seas along the shore points, but no direct impacts from this is expected here at the Jersey Shore or the Delaware shore points down to Ocean City, Maryland, which is part of our coverage area as well. So I don't expect anything to occur from this locally. However, this could track close enough here to the Cape and also coastal Maine, Nova Scotia, Atlantic Canada, that area. So these areas up here are going to have to be watched closely. They still need to monitor this because that is going to be within a realm of possibility that it could get some effects from that. It might not be full brunt effects, not as in a direct landfall, but you got to remember when these storms start turning northward like this, they usually expand in size as they move northward and gain latitude. So even if it's sitting like this storm is going to have a fetch here of tropical storm force winds that extend out pretty far once it gets up to that latitude. So we'll continue to watch this next week, but I don't expect anything locally in our area. But if you do have family here in eastern New England, make sure they're paying attention and monitoring. They have plenty of time to look at this. By the time it gets up here again, this is going to be around the 16th, maybe even the 17th. This is a long way away. Okay, so early next week we'll have the definitive 100% for our area, which I'm just about to call quits on. Here's what it looks like right now. It was a Category 5 briefly, for about 12 hours actually. I think it was a Category 5 hurricane. Now it's a Category 4, and that's because on the western side of this we had some westerly shear working into the core here. Shear is wind in the opposite direction, so the hurricane's going obviously this way, and you had westerly shear coming in about 20 knots to help disrupt the core a little bit. That's why you don't see that very tight eye right here like you did the video I did yesterday. Okay, so it does have the opportunity once that shear relaxes, which is expected to do over the next 2 days, to re-intensify and get back to Category 5 again. But I think you're going to see a slow drop-off again. It's still going to be a major hurricane by the time it gets north of the Bahamas or in the Bahamas vicinity. And this is what the hurricane tracks look like right now this evening. This is the ensemble trends here. And you can see going forward here, they're all taking us up generally toward Atlantic Canada, and that's it. But see some of the westernmost members here get awfully close to Cape Cod and Maine, in fact, so they have to keep an eye on that in eastern New England. None of them get into our area at all, not one. Okay, so again, I'm not going to completely write it off yet, but if I do this video here on Monday and it's still looking like the same, I'm writing it off. Okay, we're not dealing with anything locally from this. If this keeps looking like this, the ensembles are not going to be wrong with a 5-day lead time. They're pretty good with that range. So we'll continue to watch this. Hopefully it's just a fish storm and it doesn't affect the United States at all, or Atlantic Canada. That would be nice for those guys. But right now we're just going to take this one day at a time, and I'll update you again on Monday with the latest information. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich. That is your outlook for the weekend, September 9th and 10th, 2023. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.